So I'm going to walk you through kind of the rest of these notes. We're going to be doing elimination for this next one. It doesn't really matter if you pick the X or the Y. Both of them are going to probably be the same route. So let's say I pick the Y's to kind of look at here. I need them to be the same number in front of the opposite sign. So what I'm going to choose to get them to be the same number, I'm going to choose to multiply by 2. And to get them to be opposite signs, I'm going to throw a negative on them. Throw that number there. Okay, so negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. That gets me negative 2y. If you need the little 1 there, negative 2 times 1. Okay, negative 2 times 13 is negative 26. The untouched equation underneath it, we always add going down. Negative 6 plus 6 is 0. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. This gets me 0. 0 times x is 0. 0 times y is 0. Okay, that's always true. So we would be infinitely many, which means if I actually graphed them, the two lines would be sitting on top of each other. Okay, remember, anytime they equal each other, you get infinitely many solutions. And when you plug it back in, it would be true. All right, my next one, the x's I can both get to be 12. The y's I can both get to be 6. But I'm going to have to multiply both equations regardless of which one I choose. So I'm going to choose the one that's already positive versus negative. So I'm going to get rid of my x's. So I'm going to get both of them to be 12. So I'm going to multiply him by 4 and him by 3. Because now I have negative 12x plus 12y is equal to 48. That gives me my positive 12x, my positive 6y, and 60. So when I add go down, negative 12 plus 12 is 0. This gets me to 18 and 108. Right? So when I detach, I divide by 18. I get 6. So now I'm going to pick one of my original equations. I'm going to pick this one to go back into. I am replacing y. So when I take out my y, I plug in my 6. Remember, when you take the variable out, completely take it out. 2 times 6 gets me to 12, and now I move everything away from x. So I do its opposite to get 8. His opposite to get 2. And then remember, we write them as a coordinate plane. So if I actually graph these, so got them in y equals mx plus b, we would get them crossing at 2, 6. Okay, my next one, my x's, I can get them both to be 12 again. My y's, I already have opposite sides. I can get them both to be 2's. So I'm going to multiply him times 2, so that gets me 12x. A positive 2y is equal to 24. I'm going to put my untouched underneath him. 12 plus negative 4 is 8. Positive 2, negative 2 cancels. 24 plus 0 is 24, so I can divide by 8 to get 3. I'm going to go into my top equation because there's less negatives. I have my x value, so I'm replacing my x up there. 6 times 3 is then 18. Subtract my 18. To get, that says negative 6, so then I get 3 comma negative 6. So if I graphed them, it would cross at 3 negative 6. And the next one, I'm going to get the x's to be the same. They're already opposite sides, so I'm just going to multiply my top by 3 here. So this gets me negative 3x. 3 times 1/3 gets me 1. And this gets me negative 18. I'm going to put my untouched underneath them. If you need the visual one there, put your visual one in. Okay, negative 3 plus 3 is 0. Negative 1, or positive 1 plus negative 1 is 0. This gives me negative 34. Okay, so 0 is equal to negative 34. So I got a no solution happening here. Okay, which means if I actually graphed them, they would be parallel and they would not intersect. All right, if you have not tried pausing the video, try pausing the video and actually try and use last two on your own if you haven't. Otherwise, I am going to just kind of keep going through them. That graph was supposed to be on the warm-up, so just ignore that graph over there. Okay, this one, I already see my y's are opposite side and same number, so I'm just going to add going down. There's my visual 1 if I need it. So 8x, positive 2y, negative 2y. Oops, 24. Divide by 8. I get 3. I'm going to go into my top one there because there's less negatives. I'm plugging in x. So 7 times 3 is 21. Start moving everything away from y, so subtract 21. Divide by 2. And then we're going to write our answer as a point. 3 negative 4. Okay, my last one. I'm going to eliminate my y's because if I do my x's, I'm going to have to multiply both of them to get them to be 15. My y's, looks like I can get them both to be 8, so if you need the visual 1, put it in there. I'm going to do a positive 8 because the other one's already a negative 8. All right, so that gets me negative 40x, positive 8y, negative 24. I'm untouched underneath them. And going down, so this gets me negative 37x. This cancels. This is not no solution. I still have an x there. So you detach and divide. So x is 0. I'm going to make the top one to go back into. So negative 5 times 0 plus y, which negative 5 times 0 is just 0. So my y is equal to negative 3. So 0, negative 3 is your answer. All right, write and solve the system of equations to represent the scenario. So on Saturday evening, he purchased 2 pizzas and 3 orders of garlic breadsticks for $67. So that is your first event. Okay, the second event following that week, he purchased 1 pizza, 2 garlic breads for $37. Okay, on the original questions, I had like my money with my money. I only have 2 things of money, so I can't actually do like what I did on the previous story problems. I'm actually going to use their events as their equation. So first off, define the variables. I'm going to use P for pizza and G for garlic bread. Okay, so my first one, 2 pizzas, 3 orders of garlic bread for $67. So I don't know how much they are. So if my pizzas cost me $12 and I bought 2 of them, that'll cost me $24 and mentally multiply. Okay, but we don't know how much each costs. So I'm going to do 2P to represent my 2 pizzas I ordered, but I don't know how much they are, and my 3 sets of garlic bread for my total of 67. Then my next time I went, I got 1 pizza for 2 garlic breads for a total of 37. All right, you can use substitution or elimination. If you wanted to use substitution, you would subtract 2G over. That'd probably be the easiest one. I'm going to use elimination. So pause the video and actually try your elimination for this one. Okay, I'm going to multiply. I'm going to get my pepperonis to be the same. So I'll multiply n times negative 2. And some more. Untouched underneath them. So that gives me negative 1G, negative 7. So divide by negative 1. I get 7 dollars for garlic bread. Let me write it better here. Okay, plug it back in. Let's find out how much my pizza costs. I'm going to plug it next to my bottom one. Those numbers are a little smaller. So I have my bread. So my G being 7. 2 times 7 is 14. Okay, don't really need the 1 there. If you want to divide by 1, you can. So my pizza is $23 then. Okay, so there's a different type of one where you're actually doing it based on the event that's occurring instead of trying to match your money with your money, because I don't have enough dollars to represent an entire equation for it. So we're doing our like combined events for it.